Let us do one more example on compound interest. Calculate the total amount on a deposit of this. So this is the initial amount. After 3 years, if the interest rate is 6% per annum, and there are few cases here how the interest compounds annually. That means first case, principal amount P is always 12,000. Now interest rate here, first case compound annually, so interest rate compounds annually, so the interest rate, annual interest rate will be the interest rate 6%, and number of that period, since the compounding annually, so 1 year is the period here, and 1 year's period's interest is 6%, and how many 1 years are there? 3. So the time period T is 3. So for first problem, R equals 6% and the time period is 3. So we need to find the final amount P prime equals initial amount 12,000, 1 plus R. R is 6 division 100 to the power T is 3. We know the compound interest formula P prime equals P initial amount 1 plus interest rate division 100 to the power number of period, that is the time period T. So we need to calculate this value. We will do the calculation. Let us consider the second case. Compound half yearly. So here the time period to compound interest is half yearly. Interest rate is given per year. So half yearly interest rate. Here we need to find the half yearly interest rate, which will be 6% per year. So 6 division 2, that is 3% will be the half yearly interest rate. So once we are compounding in half yearly basis, then the number of time period will not be 3, because number of time period, this interest compound, the interest compounds in every period, and T is the number of that kinds of period. So here the interest compounds half yearly. So T will be how many half yearly periods are there in 3 years. So the T will be 3 times 2, that is 6. There are 6 half yearly period in 3 years. So for this case, the final amount relation will be P prime equals 12,000 initial amount, 1 plus, here the half yearly interest rate is 3 division 100 to the power 6. Number of that kinds of period is 6. So we will calculate these values later on. We need to first see these first 4 cases. 3. Compounded quarterly. So here the period of interest compound is quarterly. So quarterly, we need to find the quarterly interest rate. R equals, we are considering using the same symbols. So per year interest is 6%. Quarterly, that means 6 division 4, it will be 1.5%. And the number of period in 3 years, how many quarters will be there? In 3 years, 3 times 4, that is there will be 12 quarters. So if we write the compound interest formula, so that this formula, using this formula, then the final amount in this case, will be initial amount 12,000, 1 plus interest rate is here 1.5% per quarter, division, there are 12 quarters in 3 years, division 100 to the power, there are 12 quarters. So we need to find this value. Fourth case, simple interest. If these things happen in simple interest, then what will be the final amount? So we know the simple interest formula, P prime equals P times 1 plus interest rate, yearly interest rate times number of years, division 100. So in this case it will be 12,000, 1 plus yearly interest rate is given if this 6% is yearly interest rate, then the interest rate is 6% and number of years is 3. So 6% and number of years is 300. So we need to just calculate these values. Let us use our calculator. So 1 plus 6 division 100 means 0.06, 1.06. So 1.06 to the power 3 cube, then times 12,000. We will be getting $14,292.19. 14,292. So 14,292.19. So in this case, this will be the result. Here, let us see. So 1 plus 3 division 100 will give 0.03. So 1.03. 1.03 to the power 6 equals this, and then times 12,000. Times 12,000. We will be getting $14,328.63. 14,328. So it will be 14,328 point, or how much was the cent? 63 cent. It was 63 cent. Let's do this calculation. Here it will be 1.5 division 100, it will get 0.015 and then this one. So 1.015 to the power 12. To the power 12 will give this, then the 12,000. This multiplication 12,000 will give us $14,347 and 42 cents. 14,347 and 42. 14,347 and 42 cents. Now this calculation, three times 6 is 18 division. So 18 division 100 will be 0.18 and 1.18. So 1.18 times 12,000. 1.18 times 12,000, 14,160. So $14,160. So these are the values we got. So what is the observation from here? We can see the same interest rate, same amount, same time period. If the interest compound more frequently, this is annually, here half yearly, here quarterly, then the final amount increases. Final amount increases. And with the same interest rate, if the interest does not compound, that is a simple interest, then the final amount definitely is less than the corresponding compound interest rates.